a brief overview on the book of Revelation. I shared a short clip indicating that I will be coming your way with studies in the book of Revelation. And I want to give an overview. Now, the book of Revelation is a very highly prophetic book. In fact, it has 22 chapters, and it is the last book of the Bible, the 66th book for that matter. The book of Revelation is very deep, very deep, and many of the things there, a lot of us shy away from and we don't want to read. Particularly those things that are, those events that look very unpleasant. And the truth of the matter is that those things we see are not signs and symbols or characters and, as it were, of a fiction. No. This book is not a fiction. This book is not cock and bull story. This book, it captures events that are going to happen in real time. They are prophecies put together for the end time. If I want to go to Daniel chapter 12 verse 4, in closing, God told Daniel that he should seal up the book for the time of the end. And when you come to the New Testament, contrary to that, when you come to the book of Revelation, Revelation chapter 22, in closing, verse 10, Jesus told Apostle John that seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. So God is indicating through the book of Revelation that whereas several centuries earlier, in the days of Daniel, the revelations and the mysteries were for the time of the end, the time is up. And so today we should not cover, or we should not tie up the scroll. We should break the seals. We should discover and disclose end time prophecies and make the church aware and make people aware that indeed these sayings are faithful and true. In fact, when Jesus was speaking to John from time to time, he would tell him, these sayings are faithful and true. Somewhere he would tell him, write, for these sayings are true. Write. And then again, he introduces himself to John and says, I am the faithful and true witness. Jesus, who said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, is now speaking and saying, I am the faithful and true witness. Jesus said again that till heaven and earth pass, not one jot or tittle shall in any wise pass from the law, from God's word, till all be fulfilled. And jots and tittles are those small, like the crossing of T's and dotting of I's in English language. Those small ornaments we see on the Hebrew alphabets. It tells us that they will not fail. If these small letters, signs, and symbols shall not fail from a man's word, then don't expect a single word from his mouth to fail. In other words, or by implication, then we can say that instead of God's word failing, Luke 5, instead of God's word failing, heaven and earth should rather disappear. That is what it means. A very serious statement for Jesus to say that till heaven and earth pass, not one jot nor tittle shall in any wise pass from the Lord. Not any of these signs and symbols on the letters of Jesus' words written for us to read will fail. And one such is the book of Revelation. Now, when you go through the book of Revelation, chapter 1, in fact, the book is in 3 phases. Chapter 1 deals with the past. It is gone. That was when Apostle John received the book and saw the glory of Jesus, saw the revelation of Jesus Christ. So the book is about Jesus Christ. The book is the revelation of Jesus Christ. And chapter 1 is gone, is in the past. Chapter 2 through to chapter 3, chapters 2 and 3 is the present conditions. And when you look at chapters 2 and 3, there are about 7 churches that physically existed in Asia Minor. The first one, Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamos, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea. 7 churches in Asia Minor. And interestingly, these 7 churches portray or they depict certain traits, certain characteristics. When Jesus spoke to John about these churches that existed at that time, he spoke to him about their strengths and their weaknesses. And some of them received commendations for what they have done for the sake of Christ. And a few others also received, a backlash, if you like. He rebuked them for the wrong things they were tolerating or they were doing. And these things that we see in chapters 2 and 3, we will get there, tell us that some of these traits are existent, they are inherent, they are happening in today's church. They are happening. Some of the strength, like the churches that cannot tolerate false prophets or false apostles, false teachers, churches that cannot tolerate false doctrines, they are there. And churches that they love God, the individuals in the church, they love God. They are going through difficult times, all right, but they haven't turned their backs on Christ and they are holding on to Him is commendable. So we see some of these things in some of these churches. And so we have the chapters 2 and 3, which talks about the present. That's where we are. And like I was saying, indeed, the 7 churches also indicate 7 chronological stages that the end time church from Apostle John, the time he received the book of Revelation, that time that first century church was Ephesus. So from Ephesus, the second century church, Smyrna, and then it goes on and on and on. Now we are in the 21st century, and the church Jesus Christ will come and meet is the apostate church. It's called Laodicea. Laos and decay, 2 words. Laos, people, decay, or opinion. So people's opinion. So that is a church where people's opinion drive affairs, and many times they set aside what the Lord is saying, written and spoken, and they bring their own opinions, or because they have affluence and influence, or because they are good orators, they are made to lead, take center stage in church activities. At a church board